Hey, thanks for checking out the Crispy Marshwiggle. Every Friday, we release a new mini essay with thoughts on everyday life and wonder in the world God has made. If you would like to see these words in front of you and read them for yourself, you can visit my Substack and subscribe for free. And now, please silence your cell phones. Today's essay is about to begin. Fear God, and you won't have to fear anything else. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 9:10. For a world that has freed ourselves from being afraid of God, we sure do have a lot of fear and anxiety going around. We despise the people of the Middle Ages for fearing God and His judgment. Then we freak out over the end of the world in 10 years, no, 20 years, maybe 30, or sometime very soon. We blame people like Jonathan Edwards for scaring people into submission, while a significant amount of people were terrified to leave their houses or touch a potentially infected surface like an Amazon package for 2 years. All right, I'm exaggerating. It was maybe only a year on the Amazon package fear. Those same ancient dolts that we tell ourselves couldn't free themselves from their slavish fear braved famines, wars, plagues, natural disasters, the seas, and settling new lands. Could it be that we are actually the cowardly ones? Is there any chance that these swapping of fears could be connected? Perhaps it is better to fear God rather than the next election cycle. John Flavel says in his book, Triumphing Over Sinful Fear, the fear of God will swallow up the fear of man. And I'm 100% confident he would say that goes for every other fear. He says as much in his book. Now, I grant to you that we would normally consider John Flavel one of those ancient dolts I mentioned earlier. He was around for the Great Ejection of 1662, which is before they had cars and planes and stuff. But hear him out. He was ejected from his church for refusing to cave on his Christian convictions, so maybe he really knows something about this whole fearing God idea. Flavel grants that there's a healthy natural fear that keeps us from being dumb. We don't bull rush bears, or bulls for that matter. We don't suppress our sinful fear to head down Niagara Falls in a cardboard box. Unless you're Chuck Norris. Well, he went up in the cardboard box. God has wired us with a healthy caution and a sense of natural danger. But we all know the fear, anxiety, and angst that goes way beyond this normal concern that a tiger running towards you might eat you when he gets there. We are plagued by a dreadful fear of what people think and events that may not have even happened yet and may never happen. What is the remedy to this paralysis? The fear of God will swallow up the fear of man. Flavel hits the bullseye on this. If we fear God, we trust in Him. If we trust in Him, we don't need to worry about what has happened or will happen. This is why Paul can confidently state, do not be anxious about anything. Philippians 4:6. Instead, pray. Instead, fear God. God knows what He's up to. He laughs at these ridiculous schemes to cut Him out of the picture. Let's laugh along with our Father, even if we get stuck with Kamala in 2024. Let's remember the delightful reality that no one can stop Him. As my pastor Bob would say, he's not running for his reelection. He is. Fear God and let that fear swallow up every feeling of angst and anxiety. That, right there, is the beginning of wisdom. And don't hate on John Flavel. You might find he can teach you a thing or two. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, or if you thought it was one of the craziest things ever, please share it with a friend. You can also follow me on Instagram and X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Take some time to wonder at God's world, and we will see you next Friday for another edition of the Crispy Marshwiggle.